What's up, dudes? Chance Foxley in the chat. Kill Tech in the chat. What's up, dudes? Good to see you guys. I am stoked to be here. Let me just adjust this a little bit up like that. Nice. Finally got up early enough, dude. What time is it for you over there? Shinji Kari, my dude in the chat. What's going on, man? How am I doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I had a great weekend. It was a long weekend. We celebrated the 4th, and we... Oh, man. I don't know if you saw the short that I put up. But we got invited to a friend's house for the 4th of July, and they had a big blowout, tons of people there, and everybody just brought all their fireworks, and so they just set it up in their driveway, and there was like 3 dads who were just lighting all of them, and it was the most insane firework situation that I've ever been in. Like, just I'm not even exaggerating. I want to say it was probably 15 minutes of just non-stop crazy, I mean, they're walking into the sparks to put down another big firework and light it. And it's like all the stuff that you buy from like if you live in California, you know, it's like all the stuff that you buy from the little, you know, plywood shops or whatever that they set up, that's like people fundraising for like a church or something like that. And it was just nonstop, and these dudes were just like it was like Goldberg, dude, when Goldberg used to like come out and like stand in the sparks. They're just like in the sparks, like putting more down, lighting them, and it was nuts. So like when you watch that short, it was almost just like the absurdity of it. I just wanted to stand in front of the absurdity of it because it was so much. And there was probably multiple moments of like me just being like, ugh, like, is this gonna end well? Are we gonna be okay? I don't know, dude. It was crazy, but it was really fun. Nobody got hurt. It was great. No property damage. So it was what it was, but it was wild. It was so wild. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And then, so that was on Friday. And then the next day, we went to this like outdoor obstacle course water park thing that's like on a lake, and it's like all these inflatables. It was really cool. I think it was called Splash and Dash was the name of it. But it's basically like, gosh, have you ever watched Wipeout? Like, it was almost like a Wipeout course all over this lake, and you just kind of go and do your own thing. And so it was fun for the 4 of us to kind of get out there and get crazy. And yeah, there was just like this one that you can climb way up, and then it's like, I want to say like a 30-foot jump down. And so that was probably my favorite, was just to like go crazy and just go in. They have like 2 blobs, some big crazy slides that like shoot you off, and then you like flip when you go off. It was crazy. It was really cool. So, yeah, we had a great time with that. Needless to say, dude, at 41, I was keeping up like no problem. I was like getting crazy, having fun. But dude, when I woke up the next morning, I was like, but it was totally worth it. It was great. It was super fun. Kiltech up at 5 a.m. Dang, dude. Well, hey, I'm glad you're here, brother. That's crazy. That's commitment, and I love it. Thank you. Shinji, it's 9 p.m. Oh, man. You guys are all over. You guys are all over the map. Heck yeah, dude. It's noon here, so. But we're here. We're doing it. Let's see. Shelf says totally illegal in California, but they outlaw sparklers. Yeah, dude. California is, when it comes to fireworks, they're a little buck wild, man. They're not, they're pretty tight on what you can do, and which is crazy because when we lived in Utah for a couple of years, oh my gosh, man, it's just like the aerials are like the ones that shoot up and just blow up in the sky. Like you can just set those off from like your front yard in Utah. It's crazy. When we're driving, we like went to I think our first 4th of July. It's also kind of magical because like our first 4th of July we went and we experienced that, and then like at the end of the night when you're like driving home and you're just like driving through. It was in the Salt Lake Valley. You're like driving through there and just like fireworks are going off and like you're on the highway and they're just shooting off. I don't know. It was really cool. It was awesome. But yeah, not like that in California. If you see that in California, somebody's going to get in trouble. Marcone says, my uncle buys about 500 worth of fireworks every year and my poor car gets covered in trash the morning after. Oh, dude. Yeah. That's the one thing that's a little tough is like when you're walking through the neighborhood and people don't clean up after themselves and there's just like the junk everywhere. I hate that, dude. Killtech sounds like a blast. Pun intended. Yes. Very nice. Did the RG slide survive the bombs? Dude, so I did bring the RG slide with me to that event because I had a couple of buddies that I wanted to show it to. I had like texted them, and specifically one of them, my buddy Eric, I was like, dude, I'm going to bring it so you can get some hands on. And then it just didn't work out. Like we were just having too much fun. It never came out. So, but it was there. That's all I can say. It was there. It was at the Splash and Dash. Dude, I've been bringing this thing with me everywhere. And we'll get into it. I think today, like one of the main things I want to do is kind of like talk about some first impressions, talk about some, if you guys have questions about it, let's totally do that. And then also kind of talk about like, and I'll we'll talk about it here on the live stream, but then I'll make a separate video like for the masses, because I realize that like for the live stream, it's kind of like the crew. Like it's you and it's me. This is the crew. All right. Not everybody's watching this. Not everybody's here. So this is like our time to just vibe. This is the crew. Welcome to the crew. Here we are. But I'll make like a standalone video that will probably cover some of the stuff that we'll talk about today, and that'll be for the masses. But this is just for us today, guys. So yeah. So I'll talk a little bit about. I want to talk a little bit about too about like some of the misconceptions I think that a lot of people have been talking about. Like me and Shinji were talking in the Discord. About, just, I feel like some people, well, he said it best, like some people will get nitpicky about it. I think that's kind of a vibe that's been going on with this guy. So we'll talk about that a little bit in a few minutes, but overall, I'm really, really enjoying it. So I'll say that. Chance Foxley's 3 p.m. There you go, dude. Killtech, I can only get fireworks in Capital here. I think illegal everywhere else. Oh, dang. So, like, if you live in the capital, you could buy them and set them off at home. But, like, if you live anywhere else, you can't do it. I mean, I will say, dude, part of the reason in our specific area, I don't know why it is for all of California. It probably has to do with all the wildfires that happen. In our area, it does get pretty dry in the summer, so I understand it. Like, literally, when we were driving to our friend's house on the highway, there was already a huge fire, like, over on the west side of the city. You could see it, like, coming off the highway, so that sucks. But there's also parts of California that are incredibly like green and tons of water, and like, so it's not like how it is here. It's not like that everywhere, but I don't know. It's illegal, but nobody cares. There you go, dude. All right. Peeps be setting the sky aflame from their roof. Oh wait, Shelf, are you in San Francisco? Do I remember? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. It would be interesting to be like in the big city and kind of see what people are doing, because that I feel like just as with the cops and the firefighters, it's like you got to be so busy that whole time. I don't know. Okay. So one of the things that I also wanted to do was I was going to try to see. I was trying to rig this thing up to see if I can like capture it with the 35. It's really easy. It just goes into that like mini HDMI and then it like saw it immediately. But with this guy, I feel like it was having a little bit of a trouble picking it up. So I'm gonna see if I can add it as a source here, and we'll take a look at some stuff. What would that be? It would be Oh yeah, video capture card. Okay. Let's see. I wonder if I need to add it as like a new... Let me try adding it as a completely new source. Shelf, you lived in different parts of California, but you're visiting the East Coast currently. Oh, sweet, dude. What parts of California have you lived in? I too have lived in a fair amount of spots in California, and I'm here. It's not my favorite, but I'm here. Let's see if I can add this as a source. RG slide, baby. Shinji, how's the performance with PS2 games? Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you asked me that question. Oh, duh. You know, this is a pro tip for anybody. Oh, look at me. I'm like double. I'm like double streaming here. Oh gosh. Oh, and I'm like frozen on that one. That's weird. Here, if I get rid of this, do I come back online? Or did I totally botch my camera? I might have to like re-add my camera. I can see that I'm still getting a... Oh my gosh, I'm breaking things so badly here. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Let me oh gosh, I'm gonna break the stream this time, guys. I'm telling you right now. That's beautiful. Okay, what if we do this is so ridiculous. Okay, hang on. Video capture. Let's re-add the webcam. Oh my gosh, now I'm huge. What have I done? Oh, we're frozen. Okay, hang on. If I get rid of... Hang on, let me see if we change scenes. Am I still online over here? No, I'm frozen everywhere. Oh, baby. I love it when that happens. Okay, what if I deactivate it? And then what if I reactivate it? Come online, you beautiful beast. There we are. Yes. Dude, we're figuring this out. We're going to figure this out. I was going to say, pro tip. Okay, this is like for anybody who's streaming. Just pro tip. You should know when you're trying to add something with the capture card and you want the capture card to like route correctly and all that, the first thing that you should always do is make sure that it's plugged in. Okay, see this USB right here? Make sure this goes inside the computer. That's what you want to do. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. Okay, now let me see if we go to a capture card and then we'll add a new source. Now I'm going to say RG slide. Come on, baby. Work for me. Not that one. I want that one right there. Did it freeze me again? Don't freeze me. Why would you do that? Okay, and then if I unplug this, do that. Let's deactivate it. And then reactivate. I don't know if it's... I don't know. I could have done this off stream, but I chose in this moment to say, this is how we're going to make this happen. We're going to do this. We're going to do it live. All right, we're going to do it live. Hello. Okay. Huh, I'll have to mess with that a little bit. Okay, so Shinji, you asked, how's it performing with PS2 titles? Maybe I'm not going to be able to, like, actually get it to, what's it called? I may not be able to actually get it to capture, unfortunately. I needed to test it off stream and have it set up, but I didn't have the cables. I have the cables coming tomorrow, and then I'll probably have it for next week. But I'm so glad you asked, okay? So I posted it on the Discord. Here's what I'll say about the PS2 performance. Let's open up Shadow of the Colossus, okay? Shadow of the Colossus is probably my favorite, one of, if not my favorite, PS2 games of all time. Love this game so much. And so part of what was really exciting about getting this machine was being able to run PS2 games, and namely being able to run this game if it'll run. What's going on? Fire up, baby. Let's go. What I'll say is that it does run, and I feel like it runs pretty well. I did have to tweak some settings and like tweak the shaders. I'll tell you, the thing that actually really helps and like got the frame rate to a decent spot was tweaking some of the like underclocking settings. And I am by no means an expert in that kind of stuff. Like getting into the back end and like messing with the emulator and doing some of that stuff does make me a little bit nervous, but I know that I can just kind of reset things and it'll work. If I absolutely had to, I'm going to try launching it outside of Emulation Station because I had an issue with that before, and I'm wondering if that's part of what's going on here. So let's see here. So all that to say, I did tweak some of the settings and the shaders and stuff like that, and I felt like I got, yeah, that for some reason in Emulation Station it was having trouble launching, but now it's going to launch. I was able to get the frame rate to what felt pretty decent. I think when I'm looking at it, and I'll fire it up right here and kind of try to show you the best that I can. I wish that I could have got it to pop up and stream, but I'll get that figured out. The frame rate is like maybe a little quick. It's not quite like right on. It almost feels like it's slightly sped up to me, but I almost would rather it be slightly sped up than too slow, if that makes sense. So here, I'll see if this will, I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see if we can get it to kind of, I'll show you like as he kind of runs around. Like it feels pretty good. You know, this is weird playing like this. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can get on the horse. Wait, let's run back. It's the button to get on the horse. That was on this side. Right. If I do this, oh gosh, this is the weirdest. Hang on, move the camera. Okay, come here, you dumb horse. Don't run away from me. Argo, get on him. Get on the horse. Don't you? What do you hit? Did you hit X? Is it X or is it? I thought it was triangle. Dang it. Okay, hang on. That would have been awesome. It's not happening, though. What is the button to get on him? Yeah, it's X. What the heck? Okay. So then... Oh, I fired the... Whoops, I'm moving the wrong one. Okay. Walk. Walk, your horse. Go that way. Go the other way. Turn. Go straight. There we go. Focus, baby. Focus. There it is. So, I mean, when you're looking at the frame rate on that, like, man, it could be much, much worse. And I feel like this is one of the ones that's a little, it may be a little bit taxing on the resources, but I don't know. It feels good to me, and the fact that I'm getting a mobile, like a pocketable version of Shadow of the Colossus is just buck wild. It is buck wild. You know what I mean? All right, let me catch up on some of this chat, and then I'll show you some other stuff. Let's see. One of the most demanding titles. Let's see here. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus is one of the struggles on an actual PS2. Yeah, there you go. Some of the most perceived as simple games might have issues with ones deemed more complex that don't have issues. Yeah, that was another interesting thing too, is like my buddy, or my brother-in-law, he's like super into Tekken. And so he's got the, what did he have? He had the 405, the RG 405M, I believe is what it's called. Let me see here. Let's pull this up. Yes. Okay. Let's pull this up here. See if this works. So this is one that my brother-in-law has, and it's supposed to run. I think it's supposed to run very similar. I don't know if it has the same chip in it, but it's supposed to run very similar to this guy. And he wanted, like, one of his biggest ones were Battlefront 2 and Tekken. He wanted to do like Tekken Tag or something like that. And like, it was kind of, I got Battlefront 2 running pretty decently, but Tekken Tag was like having a little bit of a tough time. And I would think that that's one that would run relatively easy, I would think, because everything is so isolated to just the characters right there. Like, you're not rendering constant backgrounds and stuff like that are changing, but that was not the case. He was having a tough time running it. And there may be a technical issue here that's having a little bit of a hard time, but I haven't tried running Tekken on mine, so that could be one. That could be part of the reason. So let's see here. Sour Cream Sanchez in the chat. What's up, dude? Dude, did I see on Instagram that you were like gonna fly a plane? Are you a pilot? Was I aware of this? I don't remember that. But I think I saw on Instagram that you look like you were like in the pilot seat of a plane. That's ridiculous. Let's see. Shelf says, can you load an ICO save on the same virtual memory card? Ooh, I don't know. That would be sick, though. See, I've never played through ICO. I was a big fan of Shadow of the Colossus, but I never got to play ICO. So this is going to be an opportunity for me to go back. Kill Tech movement looks pretty smooth. Yeah, it took, like I said, took some tweaking. When I first powered it up, it would be a little choppy. It would slow down. I feel like this got it pretty consistent. And I even went to the first Colossus and started like climbing on him, and it still seemed like it was doing well. So yeah, it was a very pleasant surprise. Shelf says the horse is one of the most alive things in video games that I've experienced. The movements are really complex. Yes. And I won't spoil it for anybody. If you've never played Shadow of the Colossus, I think it's easier now than ever to get to access it. Like, I think for the longest time it was on PS2, and then they did did they do like a PS3 or a PS4 remaster? But like now, literally, we have this device. We have these devices that are going to let you run it right here, and you're going to be able to play it. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but amazing game, amazing story. When it comes to the horse, I mean, when you say most alive things, I mean, you get attached to that guy. Let's just put it that way. You get attached. Let's see. Shinji says, I like the aesthetics of the Anbernic consoles more than other handheld brands. Yeah, so that's one of the things that's kind of interesting about this guy is, and maybe we can get into some of the nitty-gritty of that right now, because there's a lot of reviews that are going around about this. I'm actually part of the Retro Handheld Discord. There's a Discord that you can join that's like all about retro handheld stuff. And I think a lot of the retro handheld YouTube space has a lot to do with breaking down the specs on these guys and sort of comparing and contrasting them to each other and stuff like that. As somebody who is relatively new to the space, I don't have a lot to go on. Like, literally, these are the two that I have experience with, both Anbernic devices, plus the 405M that I set up for my brother-in-law. But other than that, like, this is what I got. So I don't have this, and then, things like, classic, the Game Boy, the Game Gear, the Switch, all that kind of stuff. But I don't have a lot of experience with like some of the competitors when you look at things like Retroid and the Retroid Pocket and stuff like that, or any of the like premium, if you're talking about like Odin and all that kind of stuff. If we're talking premium, it's like the Steam Deck. I got my hands on that because my buddy Eric has one. But a lot of the comparison, especially for this guy, is happening in that space where people have just, I would probably say too many devices. Like when you look at some of these guys and they've got like 20 different devices, I understand it's for review purposes and stuff like that. And they probably have their favorites that they just continue to go to. But because of that, I feel like in some ways in the review space, this one has gotten some mixed reviews. I wouldn't say it's got a bad rap, but I start to see, video titles that are like, like the best device that I'll never use and stuff like that. And so there's a few things that I have found that have been like big complaints about this guy. One is the size, okay? And we talked about this when I unboxed it last week. It is chunky. When you look at the 35, it's like the body is about the same size, but then the sliding screen adds, some additional thickness there. I get that. This guy's so pocketable. We've talked about that. Like, you can't beat that. But I'm finding that with this, it's not, it's not, what would you say, unpocketable. Like I'll stick this in my pants pocket and carry it around. I will say I'm not as flippant with it as I am with the 35. This guy, I feel like I can throw around, bang around. Like I'll leave it in my back pocket when I sit down sometimes. And it's been great. I won't do that with this. Just for one thing, I'll be pulling like a George Costanza with a big fat wallet idea going on, so I won't do that. But to go from here to there to throw it in a back pocket doesn't feel that bad. Like maybe I can walk over here and I'll show you. Like it'll slide in. And it's no problem, and then I can just pop it out. It feels right. But I wouldn't say it's as pocketable as some of the other ones that I've done. Now, one of the biggest things that I feel like people have sort of harped on with this guy is the weight of it, and especially the sort of the top heaviness that they're claiming that like when you open it and it's sort of you're trying to balance it and you're trying to figure out how to use it. I'm just going to come out and say I am not experiencing that at all. Like, I won't deny that that there's a top heaviness to it when it's open. Like, that's going to happen. But this idea that like it's so top heavy and this portion of it when it's up is so heavy that like it's going to fatigue you and it's like, oh, it's like so hard to balance it. I just think, it's like the guy who was like, the rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. It's like the rumors of this thing being so unbalanced that it's like going to create this crazy hand fatigue for you, I feel like has been, as I was talking with like Mige in Discord, it's like, it's a thing that you can't, if you're going to nitpick something, I feel like that's the thing you can nitpick. But I've had it for a week, and in that time I've played through Quackshot for the Game of the Month Club, which, by the way, if you're not a part of the Game of the Month Club, head over to the Discord. I'm sure the link will pop up in the chat at any point. Like, it's going to pop up right here. If you're not a part of it, go join the Discord and then go look for the Game of the Month Club. For July, we're playing through 2 games. You can play through both. You can play through one or the other. It's kind of your pick, however you want to do it. But we're playing through Quackshot on the Sega Genesis, and we're playing through Link's Awakening on whatever platform you want to. I'm playing it through on the Game Boy Color, but if you want to play through on the Game Boy Color, if you want to play through on the Switch version, nobody's going to judge you. But you come join us, and we'll have some fun with that. So I played through Quackshot, and I'm also playing through Link's Awakening, and it's been great. Like, in little moments where I can pop it open and have some time, it feels good, it feels right. I'm not, for longer sessions where I'm maybe playing, 20 minutes, 30 minutes uninterrupted, which is rare, but when that happens, it feels good. I'm not sitting there being like, geez, what am I going to do? And the thing I'll say is, as much as I love this guy, I don't find myself longing to come back to this Like, so far, this thing has been pretty amazing. And the screen, one of the things that people have talked about and sort of marked as a big plus for this is the screen. And I gotta say, like, that's absolutely 100% right. The brightness ability on this is just crazy. And so even when I'm playing in like full, when we're playing in full sunlight and all that kind of stuff, like, I'm just not having any issues at all, even to the point where if for some reason, I don't really play it in bed, but like if I needed to like go way down to try not to disturb somebody, like, it gets very, very dim. Like, you can barely see that, I guess. But all that to say, I think that what it really comes down to for something like this, if you're somebody who's going to get into the nitty gritty of the specs and you're like really wanting to be like, you know, you got to have a certain chipset, or, you know, you got to be able to like do this like very particular thing. Cool. That's just not me. It's like, for me, it's like, I need to, what I want to do is I want to play games that I enjoy, and as long as it can do that, and it can do that pretty well, then it really does come down to like, is it fun? Like, is it a fun thing to mess with, and is the form factor cool? And I think that's what it is for me with this, is like, people are dropping dropping videos like, you know, the best system that I'll never use, and it's like, honestly, for me, this one's going to be tough to beat. Part of it is that I just love the vibe of it. I love the feel of it. And like, part of it that's cool too is like, it's a conversation starter. Like, when I'm in public and I have a minute and I'm just chilling and I just, you know, kind of pop it open and start doing stuff, people are like, whoa, what is that? Oh, that's awesome. You know, and you get to like share, you know, your love of retro and what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool. I am digging it. The one thing that I think is going to be a little bit of a hassle is the fact that it's only got the one USB-C that is power and video output, and you can't do both at the same time. For when we're going to do stuff here on the live stream, I think I'll just make sure it's charged, because that's one of the things that's been great, is the battery life is pretty wild. Like, I have not charged it in, I think the last time I charged it was, today's Tuesday, maybe Sunday, and I've used it off and on since then, you know, quite a decent amount. It's probably not going to focus on it, but right now the battery's sitting at 65%. So unless you're just like really not intentional about charging and stuff, as long as you charge it every couple of days, maybe even like twice a week. And also, you know, unless you're like just getting buck wild and you're doing like, you know, 3-hour game sessions or whatever. I don't have that kind of time, but maybe you do, and that's awesome. But yeah, the battery life surprisingly has been really, really good. So there's that as well. So yeah, all that to say, Shinji, you're saying that the aesthetics of the Anbernic console, you like them more than other handhelds. I don't have enough experience with the other ones. I'd love to get my hands on some and see what it's like, but from what I know, two products in with very different form factors, and I've been pleasantly surprised. I'll put it that way. I wasn't expecting much from this, and this was like a game changer, like maybe a life changer in some ways. So then when I saw this one, I was like, well, that's just cool. I kind of want to get it for the gimmick. And then even seeing some of the early impressions on it after I had already ordered mine, I was a little bit nervous because there was a lot of people who were just saying a lot of things. But all that to say, again, pleasantly surprised. So I haven't been disappointed. So far, I feel like Anbernic is a great way to go. You're not going to be disappointed if you do that. sure that's not going to fall out. Let's see. Shelf says, Shadow of the Colossus on the PS4 is a remake, not a texture or res upgrade. Oh, interesting. That's rad. I love that. Marcone says, I don't go many places, so I think it might be better at home for me. Yeah, that's what I love, dude. And that's one of the things that I'll talk about in the video that I do, is part of what I love about these devices. What I loved about the Switch, but the Switch is still, and I'll talk about this in the video, the Switch was from the premium at-home console, we're talking probably like Xbox, PlayStation, the Switch was kind of like the next step away from, like, okay, you're gonna get premium, like semi-premium gameplay, but you have the handheld option, so it doesn't feel like you're taking over the whole space. You know, like this right here, like the space that I'm in, if you're on the Patreon, or if you're like a part of like earlier videos and live streams, like I'm literally in a closet. Like this is like one of those, like where the doors slide. Like we took the doors off, we put up some curtains, okay, and it really is like from me standing here, I can touch the back of the closet right there. Like my camera is mounted on the wall. So it's this really shallow closet in our office, in what's like office / guest room. And what's really crazy too, and like this is sort of a side tangent, when you watch the first video from where I came back and sort of announced like I'm gonna start doing the channel again, if you watch that video and then just like kind of hit random videos between then and now, you see the evolution of this room and like how the redecorating has happened, and like the TV moved, it's like over here now, and we put a couch, all that kind of stuff. So it's just wild to see the change in aesthetic and all that. But anyway, the Switch was like moving towards like you can do some premium gaming, but it has the handheld feature, so that it doesn't, like if I wanted to play something, it doesn't feel like I have to take over a whole space. You know what I mean? Like if I don't have to take over the whole living room and be like, hey guys, I want to play some video games, you know, for the next hour. The TV, the space is mine. You know, you can hang out, but like I'm doing it, so like I'm taking over this space. Like that's what it kind of feels like, and that's tough. Like especially like as the family grows and stuff like that, it feels harder, at least to me, it feels harder to be okay with doing that. And so to be able to go handheld was really nice. And so what I love about these guys now is it feels even less obtrusive. And maybe that's just a me thing, but like whether I'm in public or just around the house or something like that, like it feels less of a hassle and less obtrusive to just like get in a quick gaming session, you know, or to be able to just like take this in the backyard and like sit on the back porch and just like play for a few minutes. It's just kind of like, for me in my life stage, next evolution, and I really love that. So I've been really enjoying that. Let's see. Shinji's asked about Gamecube. All right. And then Shelf says, if you can turn off the screen when using the video out, the battery life will dramatically increase. Having the screen on will drain the battery of laptops, from my experience. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so Shinji's asking about Gamecube. So that's another one that I'm kind of dabbling in, that I need to kind of adjust some shaders and stuff like that. We'll have to mess with it. I have 5 games on here so far. I have Eternal Darkness, 2 of the Star Wars Rogue Squadron games, because those were some of my favorite, like that I ever... So Eternal Darkness, I got to dabble in way back in the day, but I didn't get to play through the whole thing, and thought it was pretty cool, so I wanted to do that. The Rogue Squadron games, starting on the N64, and then the 2 that came for GameCube, I loved them so much. But again, limited access because I didn't own a GameCube, and so I'm excited to do those. Super Mario Sunshine, because when I very first came back on the channel, I remember somebody, it might have been Zach, old Rock has, who was saying, hey dude, you should play Sunshine. And I've never played any, like beyond Mario 64, I don't think I played any of the like mainline Mario games after that. So things like Sunshine, Odyssey, any of those things I've never played, so I'm interested to kind of jump in that. And then I did download, okay, I know I saw Shinji saying Mario Strikers is so much fun, favorite football game ever. I did download it. I've never played it, but my buddy Joey, aka Small Scale Cinema, that sometimes pops in here, that I work with at the office, he's like, oh my gosh, I love that game so much. So I downloaded it. It was one of the first ones I put on here, and he didn't know. And so then I was like, hey dude, look what came in. And I handed it to him, and I was like, hey, and there's a surprise on there for you. And when he opened it, the first thing he saw when he opened it was the title. I think it was the title screen. Or no, I had even set up the match so that it was like the screen right before you push start to actually start running on the field and playing. I had like picked the teams and everything so that he could just jump right into it. And that was really cool. Like, that was a cool moment. So I'll open up Strikers right now and see if we can get a little gameplay on there. Oh, interesting. Did that not launch? That's one of the things that I'm finding with Emulation Station, and maybe there's some things I need to set up differently. It's like anything beyond 16-bit era, for some reason is having trouble, because it's not running in RetroArch, it's running in a standalone emulator. For some reason, it's been having a little bit of trouble launching within Emulation Station, and I'm having to go into the actual emulator, so I'll have to work that out and see what's going on there. But if I go into Dolphin and launch it via Dolphin, it should pop up just fine. So we'll run that and see. I'll kind of show you guys what that looks like. Shelf says, what about Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles? Does it emulate the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance link cable functionality? Just kidding, stuff like that as well. Dude, I have no idea. Godzilla is a pretty good fighting game if you like giant monsters. Destroy All Monsters Melee. Is that on GameCube? Dude, I'm down. Oh, wait, is that the one that's kind of like... Oh, what is the one where... It is like a monster fighter when you're like in the city. I remember it like on the Neo Geo. And there was like somebody who looked like a Godzilla. There was like a dude who looked like Astro Man or something. Or like Beautiful Joe. He kind of had that vibe with like the helmet and the spikes, I think. What is that game called? King of the Monsters? I think is what it was called. I think I have it on here, actually. It has cities, playgrounds, but also deserts and wild areas. Okay, so is it like King of the Monsters? I feel like I did see that Godzilla game, but I just didn't know much about it, so I didn't grab it. So, all right, let's see. Man, I really wish that the cable was working for this. Yeah, you're thinking of Neo Geo King of the Monsters. Ah, okay. So is it kind of like that? Here, we'll be Mario with the Toads, and then we'll do Wario with the Hammer Brothers. So, I mean... Oh, choose a side. There we go. Yes, like the arcade King of the Monsters. Oh, man. I'll have to give that a shot. I actually really love King of the Monsters. I think that one's super fun. Pretty much everything on the Neo Geo, though, was banger, dude. Like Nam 1975 is one of my favorite Neo Geo games, too. So this is going to be horrible. But... Because I can't see what I'm doing. But you can just see the run... kind of the run speed and what it looks like. I feel like it's pretty good, man, for the GameCube. It says it's like King of the Monsters, but more fighting, less beat 'em up like the second game. Oh, okay, cool. Dude, shake it, Wario. Holy moly. There was no slowdown on that shake. See? I mean, that's pretty good. That is pretty dang good. Okay. Let's get a little bit of gameplay. This is going to be... Okay, focus, baby. Oh, man, it's all... Oh, there you go. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can't see anything. Okay, hang on. Okay, where's my D-pad? Oh, these guys are they're gonna roast me. I mean, okay, but I mean, you're just getting a sense of like... Oh, I have the ball now? Do I have the ball? Is it me? It's me. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Run, Toad. What are you doing? I can't... This is so bad. Am I using the wrong stick? Oh, I think I'm using the wrong stick. What a save. Okay, hang on. If I can score a goal like this, oh, this would be so sick. Ooh, blah. Oh, he blocked me. Get it. Get it, dude. So yeah, it feels good. Frame rate feels fine. Oh, Mario, dude, from down. Oh, jeez. Got roasted. Okay, go, Toad, go. Kick. Oh, that was good. That was good. What a block. Not bad. So, yeah, the frame rate feels great, I think. No complaints. What can I say? No complaints. Especially on this one, I feel like it's pretty solid. I will say when I launched, and we'll launch some Rogue Squadron here in a minute. I feel like, and yeah, I mean, if looking at the frame rate counter up there, I mean, it's like 59, 58. You know, it's like 59.3. It's holding pretty steady, which is really nice. Let me see here. I will say when I launched Mario Sunshine, it did feel like the frame rate got a little wonky. I might have needed to adjust some stuff there. And then it did seem like with the Rogue Squadron, I was getting some slowdown. I needed to tweak some stuff as well. So I think some of those might be a little bit more demanding, and we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. Scalar's a pretty platform for Gamecube. Oh man, see, there's so many games that I missed on the Gamecube. It'd be great to net play with the slide and the 35XX. Yeah, dude, that's one thing that I need to. That's one thing that we should try. So the net play. So talk to me about that. Does the net play allow, like, if I hosted a game, and then this is how it would work in my head. I don't know if this is actually what it does. So slide is connected to the internet. I host a game in RetroArch. I go to the Discord. I post the information. You guys from your Anbernic or whatever you're running RetroArch on, you can join the net play, and then we can play together. Could that be the vibe? Is that what we're talking about? Because I like that. So you can see with this one, like, it is running, but the frame rate, it starts to dip a little bit. Like right now, I think this is supposed to be running at 60, and it's running around 30, and will sometimes even drop. It'll drop down. So, have you tried any PSP emulation? Knight, what's up, dude? Good to see you. I have not. Part of that just has to do with the fact that the PSP is something that I'm a little unfamiliar with. And so when I think of the PSP, there's not a lot of games that first come to mind where I'm like, oh, it's a priority for me to check that out. So I'll need to just give it a shot just for the fun of it and kind of see how it can do. But I have not tried it yet. So Shinji says, I think so. I'll be up to try NetPlay, but since I'm in Italy, maybe the latency will be too high. Yeah, we can give it a try. We can definitely something in Discord. Let's give that a shot, and we can kind of tinker with it and see if it works. Knight says, I think NetPlay would be an issue if you host it on the slide. You'd have to finagle with your LAN equipment. Okay. In the sense that, like, if I'm trying to host somebody that's in a different location, you're saying that maybe like firewall type stuff might be an issue. Like, is it basically meant to be sort of like local on the same network? Is that what you're telling me? Sorry, the thing about Rogue Squadron is when it does the whole intro, and I don't think you can skip it. Yeah, so once it actually gets up and moving, I'll pull it up here again and we'll take a look at it. Because yeah, so that with those, I think I'll have to tweak some of the shaders and stuff like that, because I believe it's supposed to be running at 60 frames and it's like squeaking out 30 and stuff like that. So, dude, go for the gold, dude. That's one of the things that I loved about the Rogue Squadron games, is like unlocking all the ships and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, I love it. Knight says, your RG slide is local to your network, so no direct access from the internet unless you deal, port forwarding and stuff. Huh. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to mess with that and see if there's some options, because that's part of what I think would be rad too, is if there was a way to kind of network it in that way. If it's only local, That's still cool if you got buddies around and stuff like that, but it would be awesome to like put together some game sessions and stuff like that. Yeah, you unlock levels if you get all the gold in Rogue Leader, dude. Yes. I remember, so the N64 Rogue Squadron game, dude, I remember. I got buck wild with that one. These GameCube ones, it's going to be time for me to show them some love and see what I can do. You know what I mean? All right, we're starting to get into a little bit of... It might give us a little bit of gameplay. So that's not too... There's a little stuttering, you can see right there. And I think right now, it's running about 40 frames. Try not to fly into... Ooh, explosion. Let's see if I can get it here so it'll stay focused. You can kind of see kind of what the vibe is. Focus, baby. So, you know, it's not too bad. Let's see, can I shoot some... Oh, whoops. What did I push? Might have accidentally tried to pause it or something. Oh, there we go. There's my lasers. All right, let's see if I can destroy a tower in reverse mode here. Come on, baby. Die! Never mind. So, and I think I did go in and adjust some stuff already with this. So this one is probably going to be a little bit of a work in progress. Oh, got him. Let's freaking go. To get it like really prime. Maybe I just need to block my face and then it'll stay focused. Yeah, if I can fly up. There we go. Yeah, if I can adjust some of the settings a little bit more, then it's probably gonna... I think it'll lock in real nice, and this will be a great one to play through. So I've got this one and number 3, Rogue Leader, which will be really cool. So there you go. So see, not too bad. You know, maybe how much time we got? We got about 5 minutes. I'll fire up Sunshine, let you see what that looks like also. Because I feel like that one had some stuff as well. So Knight says, a better option would be hosting on a dedicated server. I'm not sure if RetroArch would do that. In the past, some individual emulators could do this. We'll have to dig into it. Okay, yeah, that'd be sweet. Yeah. Oh, and Shinji's gonna look into it. Oh my gosh, you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Yeah. That's awesome. No, dude, Shinji, one of the things I wanted to do, if I could have got this guy up and running, was I wanted to open up Quackshot and mess with it a little bit to take a look at... I know you're saying the first level is getting a little hairy. Here's the thing I'll say. If you're doing the Game of the Month clip, Quackshot is not a long playthrough. It's a little different than I expected. It is a little bit of... It's not really a puzzle game, but it is very much like one long chain fetch quest. In the sense that it's not linear. You need to go to a certain level, get an item, which will allow you to progress further in another level, which will then run into a block, like a gate, essentially. And then you'll have to go to you're going to do a lot of backtracking back and forth. The good news is the place that you backtrack to, there's always a checkpoint right before it. So you'll reach that gate, quote unquote, that you can't get through, but you'll have a checkpoint right there. You'll call the airplane, go to a different level, play through, hit a checkpoint, get an item, and then you can call the plane to go back to that previous level, and you'll land right at the gate, and then that'll let you through. So I think at the very beginning of the game, you have access to like three stages. You do have to do them in a particular order, and it'll become clear as you do them, like, oh, I'm gonna get this item there and that kind of thing. So it starts to click, but initially when you play, I think I'm just feeling like, oh, it's going to be linear. I'm going to beat this level and move on. And it does turn into this like chain quest that you're kind of doing around. And in the end, I dug it. I thought it was good. It was different than I thought. It's not my favorite game of all time, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I'll tell you what, Link's Awakening, I'd never played Link's Awakening, and it feels different than other Zelda games in the sense that that one also is like... there's an element of it that is, I guess, okay, in most Zelda games, I'm used to the idea that like you have to get an item that gives you a new ability. So like in Link to the Past, it's like you got to get the hook shot in order to, you know, traverse certain things. If you don't have it, you're not going to be able to do it. Or you got to get the bracelet to lift certain stones, and if you don't have those, you don't have that bracelet, you're not going to lift those stones. So it is sort of like you have to get that in order to progress. That all makes sense to me. That's fine. That's like a staple for Zelda games. Link's Awakening is weird in the sense that is in play, but there's also this like multi-stage, what is essentially like a chain quest also, where it's like you do something for somebody who gives you an item, then you got to go to somebody else and give them that item. They'll give you a new item. You'll go to somebody else and trade for another item. And it's like this long trade chain quest. I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. So Link's Awakening for me is a little wonky right now. I think I have 2. Let me see here. We'll pop this up real quick, and then I'm gonna have to head out of here. I gotta go do some drone footage of of one of our facilities for the company I work for. Yeah, so right now I have, let me see, show you guys. I've got 2 of the instruments so far, 2 of the 8, so I feel like I got such a long way to go. And then I'm on the part of the game, if you've played through it before, I'm on the part of the game where I'm collecting the 5 golden leaves, and I have 3 of the 5. So there you go. We'll see how it goes. But all I have to say, if you haven't started on the game of the month yet, you still got time. Come join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And if you're already doing it and you get stuck or you have questions, like, let's do that together. So let's see. Shinji says, so you're saying Star Tropics is better than Link's Awakening? Man, here's what I'll say. I am enjoying Link's Awakening less than I enjoyed Star Tropics. I'll say that. Star Tropics was actually, again, not my favorite game, but I enjoyed the playthrough and it was compelling to me. Link's Awakening at moments is starting to get a little hard for me, like a little taxing, but I'm going to stay the course. Knight says, I got stuck in the Maharaja level in Quackshot, felt distracted by the idea of having curry because of it, and then didn't get back to it since because... Oh my gosh. And Shelf says, if you get all the secret shells, you get a laser sword. Oh, dang. All right. I think I have like 6 of them. I think I have 6, and I think you have to get like 25 or 26. I don't know, something like that. So, dude, we're on the march. We'll keep it up. All right, dudes, I do have to get out of here. I'm out of time, but as always, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Big shout out to my patrons, Owen Toast and JB Doll holding it down. These videos are sponsored by you guys, so thank you so much for your support there. If Patreon is something you're interested in supporting the channel, links are in the description. If you're not a part of the Discord, which I think everybody here probably is, but if you're watching this later and you're not a part of it, those links are also in the description, probably in the chat. Come join us. Game of the Month Club, all that good stuff is ready to go. Guys, I've got like 5 videos planned. I was talking to Shinji. I just need to batch them. I need to find a day and just batch them, because I have a video for the RG that I want to talk about that is sort of like retro handheld, next stage of retro gaming in general. Got that one planned. I want to do a deeper dive on the slide. And then I got a couple of topics I want to talk about that I've mentioned to you guys about, like modern gaming and some other stuff like that. So hopefully I can knock some of that stuff out. But in the meantime, guys, thank you for being here, hanging out with me at 5 a.m., at 9 p.m., wherever you are. I don't take your time for granted. I love that you're here and we're hanging out. Gosh, that's awesome. So thank you guys so much. All right, yep, there's your Discord links, all that good stuff, guys. Have a great Tuesday. For those of you just getting started, have a great Tuesday. For those of you who it's ending, I hope your Tuesday was great. Get some rest. Head off to Dreamland, Slumberland. Have a good Wednesday, all that good stuff. And, stay rad, dudes. All right, I'll see you soon. let's hang out on Discord. We can talk more about getting the net play stuff. Like, let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. All right. I'll see you soon.